Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, the weather's warming up. We still got a lot of rain, but guess what? We got cold weather states playing some baseball.
Yeah, opening day coming all across the country. Those northern states are going to catch up quickly.
Yes, they are. So let's talk about some of them today before we get into a warm weather state. But starting off in your territory, the Pacific Northwest, out of Washington, Corbin Carroll, Brock Jones, Carter Young, all top prospects. We saw them last week between you and Dan Jurek. There's some good baseball up there this year.
Yeah, Dan Jurek's been doing a great job, especially up in Washington. But the Pac Northwest, big year for them in the draft. Of course, Adley Rutschman in Oregon, likely the number one pick. But Corbin Carroll, off to a good start. One of the top prospects in the 19 prep class. Some good swings out of him early on. Brock Jones, I got a chance to see. He worked 87 to 89 from the left side. Real nice breaking ball, 73 to 77. Athletic kid. There's much more in the tank. I'd expect that velo to rise throughout the spring. And then Carter Young, switch hitter, can play all over the diamond, good athleticism, actually hit a nice home run from the left side. So he's another one, had a tough summer, but he's going to come back strong this spring.
Yeah, he certainly should. A lot of good athleticism in that entire group that you're talking about there. But in your home state currently, Oregon, you got to pop out your door and drive, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe it was a little further. But you got to see one of the top 2020s in Mick Abel, and it sounds like he was pretty electric.
Yeah, Mick Abel's an Oregon State recruit. I've seen him in the past, about 6'5", 190 pounds, long and lean, but it's a quick arm. He was up to 96, and a lot of it was 92 to 94 throughout, went 6 innings, didn't give up a hit. He was dominant. It's probably the best prep prospect that the state of Oregon's ever seen. And when we put Oregon into the 2020 rankings, there's a good chance that Mick Abel could be the top arm in that class.
Interesting. Well, we'll certainly keep an eye out for that, as those rankings will be updated very soon. But moving over to the East Coast, but still kind of staying with that northern trend, or at least cold weather trend, because they are below the Mason-Dixon line. But we got action starting in Maryland as well as Virginia. In Maryland, Matthew Wyatt creating a little bit of buzz. See that low slot, pretty slingy, but it's coming out sitting in the low 90s, so might be some scouts jumping in there to see him.
Yeah, definitely. UVA recruit, can also spin it pretty good. Wasn't as sharp in this outing, but it's definitely in there. And another Virginia recruit from the state of Virginia, Nate Savino. We've talked about him in the past. He's a 2020 left-hander. There are reports of him being up to 97 miles an hour. Now, I just talked about Mick Abel possibly being a top prep arm. Nate Savino may be saying not so fast, because when a lefty's throwing that hard and can spin it and is a good athlete, good chance that's an MLB prospect.
Yeah, that's a big-time arm from Potomac Falls High School, right down the road from where I grew up. So certainly looking forward to keeping an eye on what he does. We've had him in the top 10 for a little while now, but we'll see how much of a jump he makes in the update that's coming up. But in the original PBR state, Illinois, things are kicking off with the Metro East Classic. They run every year. Some 40-something teams in it. And our guys got to see Zach Lee, the Kentucky recruit. Again, we're talking about a low, slingy slot, but it comes out hot.
Yeah, and he pounds the bottom of the zone with that fastball. We saw him at the Super 60 in the low 90s. Obviously, there was more in the tank, and this is just opening day. It could continue to rise. The changeup's in there. The slider's really been coming along for him, and I just like how it comes out so easy from that low spot. Zach Lee, a Kentucky recruit, going to have a lot of eyes on him this spring.
Yeah, he certainly will. Speaking of a lot of eyes, Matt Allen has been a highly touted recruit and prospect for a while now, but he's making an even bigger jump now. We've got him in the top 10, I think we do now, Shooter, in the 2019 rankings that were just updated. Doug Freeman just got to see him, and oh boy, was he electric. I mean, he's sitting in the mid-90s, basically.
Yeah, sitting in the mid-90s, and it's effortless stuff. You just look at that and say, hey, that's what a starting pitcher looks like, because it's not just that velo where it's in the mid-90s, some reports of 98. We didn't see it on that day, but it's definitely in the tank with how easy it comes out, but can also flash a real sharp curveball. He was getting swings on pitches thrown at 57, 58 feet. So the sharpness of that and just his effortless ability to repeat things, Matt Allen is your prototypical starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of spinning the breaking ball, let's move on to Spin Zone. And who's in it but Matt Allen out of Florida, spinning this hammer. absolute power breaking ball. Good luck trying to hit that.
And then I got to see Brock Jones rip off some real nasty ones early in the season. Just not fair. Shout out you, Dub.
Excellent. And then a 2020, an actual legit two-way player. We got Mason Wynn out of Texas, committed to Arkansas. He's pretty electric on the mound, can throw in the low 90s, but he can spin it a little bit too, as he does here. So spin wins, shooter. So
all day.
But you know what else helps wins? And that's bombs. So we got some PBR bomb squad for you. Going back to the great Pacific Northwest, Carter Young, as we said, switch hitter. This one from the left side of the plate.
And he wasn't alone from the left side. Damian Stone and NorCal just sitting on that back leg and letting that thing fly. That's a bomb squad.
It certainly is. What's even better than just a bomb is a walk-off bomb. And that's what Isaiah Harrison out of North Carolina did last week.
Ah, nice. And we'll wrap it up with a 2021 from down in Texas, one of the top in the country, Raleigh Hector, not just doing it on the mound, but also at the plate there.
Excellent. So there you go. Spin Zone and Bomb Squad as part of Coffee and Curveballs. As always, for Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.